Hello everyone, welcome in another important video. In this video, we will try to create UI like this. So this UI is called as a pricing element where we have different plans and we want to show its pricing and benefits that user will get if he selects that specific plan. So consider this is a standard plan, this is professional plan, this is master plan, and price varies accordingly. All right, so user can select any price one of this and just continue ordering that particular item or that particular plan. Okay, you might have seen such type of UI in, let's say, Netflix or Amazon Prime, or maybe any booking website, or maybe let's say any item selling website which has like multiple price variants. So this type of UI is pretty common. That's what I wanted to say. We will try to create this UI using Tailwind CSS. So we'll refer some documentation, and to create this UI I'm going to use Tailwind Playground. Okay, let me quickly refresh it. Now this is the default UI that they gave us. I'll just remove everything from this so that we will have fresh UI here. So first what we need is our outer division. Okay, so this is going to be our outer division which will occupy the entire screen. Okay, and as per this UI it has a little gray background. So what I'll do here is I'll just quickly set its background to gray. Let's keep it 100. Then it should occupy the entire screen height and it should occupy entire screen width. Okay, so that's what we want for now. You might have seen some changes in background color here. Okay, so now next what we want is heading tag. So heading tag suggests our plans. Okay, let's close this. Now its font size is not as much as we expect in here. Well, this is because this is how the Tailwind CSS work. By default it has no height and width for any heading tag. We need to provide classes so that it will occupy the entire so that it will get that specific font size. So there are two different ways you can define classes in here. Let's say text, I don't know, let's see what suggestions we have. We can increase our font size from here, but the way I will suggest you is by using config file. Okay, so you always get one config file if you are preparing any Tailwind CSS project. If you are preparing, let's say, a React.js project, you will get Tailwind CSS config.js file. So that's where you will get this type of configurations. How it works is, let's say if you want consistent height of any heading tag in your entire website, then you should not define it as a class. Okay, otherwise you would have to remember it and you can't document it. I mean, you can technically use this, it's fine unless and until you are working on it, but let's say if any other person wants to refer your code, it's not going to be easy for him. So I think the better idea would be to define your font size in here. Okay, now since I remember all these classes, I know where to define it. But if you just search theme in here, and if you're not sure how to do that, so here you will get to see all different type of configs you can mention in this theme file. Okay, just search for font size here. So these are the different configs you can define in your Tailwind CSS config file. Okay, I'll just quickly close this. All right, so let's try to define some height and width for this. So here you just need to define font size under the extend object, you can say. Then we need to define any object name, let's say h1 in this case. And here I'll have to define the actual size of my font. So I'll just use 4 rem, and since this is not applied in our CSS, we'll have to use it. So how we will use it is like this. So since we are defining our text classes, so by default if we define all font sizes, whatever we will define inside the font size config, that will be available in text class. So that's how we can define h1 in here, and then we have this font size. Okay, make sure that you are not overriding any default classes. So just try to give any different name in your font size or in your themes class. Okay, so this is gonna be a class name for this property. Okay, now here we can change height and width, okay, like this. Cool. For now, let's just keep 3 rem. And I already explained you what's the use case of using config file. It is because we can keep our configs centralized and we can reuse it. All right, cool. Now what we need is we need to keep this heading at the center so that our UI will look good. So let's keep a flex justify to center like this. Now we need some bold. This heading is supposed to be a little bold, so what we can do here is, so let's define font bold, and I'll put maybe extra bold if it's possible, but we need to decrease size of our heading so that it will look good. Now you might have noticed its font size is not black, it's gray. So we can define font gray, or maybe define text gray like this, and choose little appropriate color. I think this one is fine. Yeah, this one is fine. Cool. So now we have heading in here, but I want some padding from top. Okay, so instead of giving padding from top, I also want to give a padding from bottom also. So I'll use py. Y is suggesting y-axis. If I use px, it will give padding from left and padding from right. Okay, so I want padding from top and bottom, so I just use like this, maybe 0.5 rem. It's fine. Cool. Now let's move ahead. I'm not gonna waste time creating this because this is quite easier. Let's try to focus on our main content. Now what we need here is we need different division. Okay, why we need different division is because I want to keep this entire UI in one division, so that I can apply some responsive CSS to that division. Okay, so this is just for keeping all the content in the same division. So I'll keep the class here. Now inside of it, I'll create 3 different div tags like this. Cool. So I'll just give it a random name, or maybe let's try to add this content. So first should be h5 or h4. I'll say h4 standard. This is a plan name. Then second name is gonna be h2, which is gonna be our actual price. So let's say $2.99, right? Then what else we have here is 500 GB storage, users allowed. Let's keep it in should we use UL and li, or should we keep it in, let's say, div? Again, I don't know if there is any use of div, but let's keep it in different div. Then I don't know, what we need here is 500 GB storage, like this. Then let's keep another p tag, okay, like this, and 2 users allowed, and send up to 3 GB. 50 email accounts. 50 email accounts, or maybe Gmail accounts. It's fine. Okay, content is not that important. Then we should have a button which is order now. Okay, for now this UI should look good. Keep it like order Now we will design it one by one, but one thing you might have noticed that our heading tag is our heading tag and our div tag is in the same row. Okay, it is because we have flex applied to this class, and this flex is supposed to be, I'm talking about this flex. This should flex as per the column like this. Okay, and then items it should be at center like this. Cool. Now let's try to design our UI. I'll just tidy this so that it will get formatted. Now what we need here is, I want some height and width for this, but before that I just want to provide some shadow small, shadow MD 2XL. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Yeah, let's keep this for now. We'll change it later on if it is required. Then we need some padding. So we need padding thing. P3 should be fine. Also we need margin from top. It should be, let's say, 4. But I would suggest, if you are giving any padding or margin for your elements, always try to keep it in your config file so that you can reuse it, and at the end your UI will look standard. Okay, because entire UI look, it depends on whatever the margin you have given, whatever the fonts that you have used. So everything it matters. Otherwise you just have to make sure that you have right font, right height and width for your heading tag and everything. So yeah, that's the suggestion. Then what we need here is, we also need to define h4 class. But yeah, for now let's just focus on our outer element, which is, I need some rounding, because this UI element has some round shape. So round, I want to give it a medium, or let's say large, extra large. I think large is enough. So you might have seen some rounds around it. Now background is supposed to be white. Okay, like this. Cool. For now I think this should be good. Then another thing is flex, justify content to center, and then we need flex column like this, one after the other, and items supposed to be at center like this. Cool. That is the one thing. Then what else? We need to change its height. Okay, h4 height. So now we'll go here, we'll copy this, we'll paste it in here. Let's say h4. Now since this is 2 RAM, I will keep h4 as a 1 RAM, and then let's keep it h4, and then give it a class text h4. Okay, text h4. It should be, I think, font h4. I just forgot. Text h1, text h4 should be 1 RAM, 1.5. yeah, I think this should work. And then it should be little bold. Font bold. Yeah, then again it should be gray, but now I'm not quite sure how much gray I should apply. I think this is the same gray what we have used for the heading, so I can just copy and paste it in here like this. And what else? I think we need some good space, good padding for this division. So I think instead of giving p3, I'll just use p4, p5. Let's see. Yeah, p5 should be fine. Then rounded XL. Yeah, this should be fine. Then we need some good width for this. Let's give it a let's give this class name as 0, and I'll increase it to 3 so that price will highlight. And this class should be text h0. Okay, it should have some bold stuff, then similar to this. Okay, now we need 500 GB storage. I need some padding for this, maybe not padding, I need some margin for this. So this font size is should be, let's see, let's make it a gray first, then give it a margin Y should be, yeah, this should be fine. Let's apply these classes for all like this. Then I think we need some bold font, bold, or maybe let's keep it a semi bold, and we need some horizontal line in between like this. Let's give it a class. I don't know how to increase its font size, or I don't know. I want some extra thickness in that horizontal line. So maybe let's search HR size 0. Let's try to use this. I'm not quite sure it will work or not. Okay, anyways, let's not waste our time in this. I'll just keep horizontal line in between. All right, like this. Then at the end we have order now button. So for this button I think we need some, first of all its width should be full, and I need some background, or let's say first of all let's keep some padding around it, and background is supposed to be a linear gradient. Okay, so for linear gradient let's use linear gradient like this. So yeah, we need some UI like this. So what we can do here is we can define our linear gradient in themes file, or else we can define it in the same class itself. So I'll just copy this for our reference, and then we'll change the colors. Let's keep it like this. Okay, then font size should be bold, semi bold, let's say bold, yeah, and text color should be white. Then we need some round like this. Cool. So this is how we have this UI. Now let's keep this at the center, text center, similar to this. Okay, cool. Now we have to give width, at least minimum width to this UI, so that it will look little good. Yeah, and it should also have some font changes, I guess. Cool. I think this font size should be more. Let's keep it 5 something like this, and this font h4 font size should be little lesser. Yeah, not 3, 1.4. Cool. Yeah, and we need some margin from top, let's say Yeah, margin at least this should be fine. Cool. Yeah, and then let's try to give minimum width. I don't think we need this. Okay, let's tidy this, and then flex shadow, and then give a minimum width, and I think this should be in pixel. Let's say 200 pixels or 500 pixels. 400, 300 pixels is fine. Okay, anyways, let's keep it like this. Then what we need to do is let's copy this entirely and just paste it like this. Okay, now what we need is we need flex so that um, it will go in a row, and then we need a gap, at least one or two, like this. And then at the center we should apply some class. Maybe we need some background, as a linear gradient. So I'll just copy this class and I'll give it to our middle class, which is, I'll just tidy this, which is this one. Okay, and its font text should be all white, like this. In this case we need text white, like this. All right, and this button is supposed to be in different color, so its background, we cannot keep this linear gradient because it has same background. So for this we need text gray, let's say 300, but we need background to white. BG white. I think text should be text should be linear gradient, but let's keep this. I don't know how to give linear gradient to our text, but I'll just try. Okay, anyways, it's not working, so I'll just give it a text blue color. I don't know, right, like this. Okay, then you can add some extra stuff in here. Well, I should give similar color. I think it's not this one. I think I should use indigo itself. Let's try to use some different colors. Well, I think a color wouldn't matter, you can change the color later on, but this is how it should look now. And now if I just adjust it, it's not responsive. So let's try to make it responsive. So in order to make this responsive, what I need to do is I need to define MD and SM classes. So SM, if its width is smaller, let's say MD, then what we need is we need to flex flex flow to the columns. Okay, so this is how, if width is MD, then it should go to a column. If it is Excel, I guess, if I'm not wrong, let's try to, yeah, if it is Excel, then we need to define it as a row. Okay, so since this is an SM, it should be a row. And for smaller screen sizes, which is SM, it should again flow to column. We should also define what is by default flex flow, which is row. And let's say we have MD, SM. Okay, we have defined for MD and SM, large XL and 2XL. Let's copy this. Let's make this 2XL. And for large devices, we should also keep this in a row. Well, I think my bad. By default, it's flex. It should be column, and there should be only one colon. Yeah, now it's working fine. You see, our design is now responsive, and you can further go ahead and change font sizes accordingly. But for now, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.